Hello everyone, this is Dear God Tinkle, and today the manga I want to review is none other than Pandora Hearts by Mochizuki Jun. Now Pandora Hearts is a shonen manga and it has fantasy elements and a little bit of action and mystery. And it basically follows a boy named Oz, who is our main protagonist. Now Oz is a young boy that is cast into the abyss, which is a place where time works differently from our own world. The abyss is like this dimension that is separate from the real world. And by the time he manages to get out of the abyss, he realizes that 10 or so years have passed in the real world. So now it's up to him and his friends to kind of find out why he was cast into the abyss and who was behind it all. So that's basically how the story starts, and we finally follow this set of characters on this journey to find out a lot of things about the world, the mysteries, the antagonists, and so on. So the first thing I want to talk about in this review is the characters. Now this is something that the mangaka does well. She writes her characters well, and each character is very distinct and unique in their own way. Because in the story, you're not going to read and see a character and say this character reminds you of another character in the story. No, that's how different they are. Each character has their own quirks, has their own good side and bad side, and it just makes them very three-dimensional, and it's what really drew me into the story at first. The characters are just lovable, and the relationships that they have with each other is another thing that I love, because it's nice to see themes of friendship and loyalty tackled in this manga. For example, Gilbert is a friend and servant of Oz, our main character, and he's basically been searching for him this whole time. And as the story goes forward, you see their friendship and their relationship evolve, and you can see that these two are inseparable, and Gilbert is probably one of the most loyal character in the whole story actually, and I really like him for that. So the main three people you follow are Oz, Alice, and Gilbert. Of course, there are other characters that also help them on their journey, but a lot of the other characters also have their own agenda or their own reasons and motivations for doing things. For example, Xerxes Break and Duke Bama are characters that have their own reasons for trying to find out the mysteries of this world that they live in, and the mysteries of the abyss. So they also help Oz and his team try and find out what's happening. And I have to say, as far as supporting characters go, Pandora Hearts has a lot of them, has a lot of very good characters all around. For example, Duke Bama and Xerxes are two supporting characters that I love because of how they are and how well-rounded they are as characters, with their own motivations, their own reason for doing things, and their own ways of doing things. So I really love that about the story. Now, another aspect of the story is the mystery aspect, and this is something that actually blows my mind away. The way mystery was tackled in this story was actually spectacular, because the first mysteries were presented with who put us in the abyss, why did they do it, what was the whole plan behind it, and what is the abyss. And these are the few mysteries we're kind of given at the beginning of the manga. So when we start getting answers, everything just makes sense, and some of the things that we discover in the story just simply blow your mind, because sometimes some of these events are foreshadowed. And the thing is that the mystery and the events that are happening now also have something to do with the things that happened in the past. So history also has its own play here in the world of Pandora Hearts. So it's good to see that the mystery not only has to do with the current timeline, but also has to do with events that happened years before the current events are happening. And Mochizuki Jun really writes her mysteries well, because you keep on getting more questions as you go further, and towards the end you start getting more answers, and that's when you really be blown away. And with those answers you get a lot of plot twists which will just blow your mind, because you never saw some of them coming. And that's one thing I enjoyed about the story. The art is good, it's very stellar. I like the art style. It's very easy to understand what's going on, and for the fights, even though it has quite a few fights, you kind of understand what's happening. So that's one thing that the manga does well too. The art is good. Now, for the antagonists, there are quite a few of them in the story. A lot of them are really good, and you also like them as characters because they have their own reasons for doing things. Especially And I actually like them because some of their reasons include loyalty too. Some of them are loyal to a certain cause and want to fulfill certain wishes that they have. So the antagonistic force, as far as I'm concerned, is also solid, and that's another thing I have to say the manga does well. And it's kind of like a gray world too. It's not, there aren't sides that are necessarily good or bad. No, because people are kind of like, the characters are kind of flawed, so they're bound to, make their own mistakes. And that's one thing I like about it. There wasn't just a good side or a bad side. People have compelling reasons for doing what they do. Our protagonists have compelling reasons for doing what they do. Our supporting characters, our antagonists, so you can kind of understand where they're coming from. So this story all around is like the complete package, in my opinion. It does everything well, from the story to the art to the characters to the mystery to the plot twists. Everything is done well, and that's one reason why I love this manga. So, if you like Full Metal Alchemist or Maggie, this manga will probably give you the same vibe as them. Or if you like shonen, if you like action, if you like fantasy, mystery, or just a good story to read, Pandora Hearts is the one for you. And Jun Mochizuki is a great mangaka. I'm currently up to date actually with her other manga, A Case Study of Vanitas, which is also a great manga. And I'll do a review on that one some other day. But as far as Pandora Hearts is concerned, this is my spoiler-free review on this manga. I'll probably do another video going more in depth about some of the things I liked, some of the plot twists, and some of the characters. But for now, this will be my spoiler-free review video. So in conclusion, Pandora Hearts gets my seal of approval. It's a 10 over 10 masterpiece. Go read it if you haven't read it. And if you've read it, please tell me what you think about this review and what you think about the manga and why you love the manga so much. Thank you. This is Dear God Tinkle, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a very good day. Stay blessed.